Thank you, you guys, for being a part of my launch. And I can't tell you enough how much it means for all of you to be available. Obviously, you guys are all busy. It's Monday, but you guys are getting it started. So thank you. So first of all, you can go ahead and unmute your phone. And let me just say, this is it. This is what it's about. This is what we are about, bringing it together. Thank you.
Nice job, Kevin.
Now, you guys know I am long-winded, so I'm going to keep this compact. But this is really going to cover 4 parts. And that is 1, money conversations, right? Where it's been, where did I come from? What is, why is this so important? What I kind of see as the vision of this, because it's beyond a book, and really dovetail that into what we're all kind of experiencing, which is how do we navigate not just this pandemic, but just how are we going to move forward in this environment and not just make it, but I really like the idea of accelerating out of this pandemic. And it's really about the village, the community, the neighborhood, friends, families, businesses coming together and really supporting each other. So I'm really excited. But can I start off, because I know you guys did mute each other. I'm gonna go ahead and address the jokes, all right? Because I know what you're thinking. First of all, Roderick, you're coming out of retirement. Okay, I already know. I see what is that, my sister or my niece? I can't tell. Okay, well, no, you don't have to unmute. You don't have to mute, because if it was my niece, she would go, I wrote a book. She'd go, so, she'd be like, like checking me out. I get it. And I finished the book, which took a little bit longer than I thought. I know some of my friends are going, about time. I know that, but I'm really excited about this as the first step, and not just, hey, someone else wrote a book. This is really, I think, a topic that it's in front of everybody, all right? We don't have to spend much time on the importance, but where did I get involved in this idea of money conversations? And just, I know many of you, I know everybody here on the call, many of you, I know bits and pieces of my background. Just to recap really briefly, I started my career as an analyst in 1998, 23 years ago, 24 years in October, with Salmon Smith Barney. I was a business development officer. I was a sales director for a couple of companies, and it was William Blair and JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley. And then in 2014, I stepped away from corporate America, and I said, you know what? I think I can kind of do this by myself, really focusing on business owners and trying to really tie in personal finance and business that we all are kind of looking at. How do we meld those two and make that work? So I did that, and it became very apparent early that there was a missing component of the conversations I was having, because 99% of the investment community was focused on personal finance, right? What do you have? Where do you want to go? And then provide a product and service. That's not anything unique. But what I found is half the people, no, more than half, were actually making decisions in a partnership. So now we're talking about partnership finance. And that's where I kind of started going, wait a minute. This is beyond what traditionally is provided. And I started filling in the gaps. I started talking about communication, not just talking about things. How do you talk about it? Not just the words, but body language, tone, and active listening, and how emotions really affect communication. We talked about behavior, and behavior is starting to become more common in the financial community, but there's aspects that I started to tie in and say, hey, this is really important. Values, right? Your principles, your morals, beliefs, all of those are important. I said, why aren't we talking about that, right? And then tying that into human capital, like what's our value, how do we make money, and social capital. And so all of this really was, these areas were addressed in bits and pieces, but they were scattered. And I started to go, the clients I'm working with are 50, 60 years old, and And at that point, I'm like, I could do something at the investment level, but there's so much I wish I could tell them that before they, were at that point. So at some point I said, I started doing seminars. I said, this is something I really think would really benefit people at the beginning of their relationship. And that's where the idea of money marriage came about. So I started in 2018, the idea of money and marriage. And the idea behind that is to take these concepts that a lot of us have kind of heard from different people and just put it in something that is digestible, something that is relevant to real life, not just some academic study that someone's done in the past. And at the end of the day, I hate to say it, you guys, I like to have fun, right? And so that's what I like to do, is just give these concepts some body and give it, some real life, bring in outside experiences, bring in my own personal experience. And at the end of the day, I really wanted it to really be for people to take their own values, their own goals, their own behaviors, and really build a foundation. And without, and this is the part I really want to focus, without selling the product. Now, I've sold product before. Frankly, it's funded a lot of my stuff. I won't lie about that. But it's really important to say this is education. Money and marriage is about education. It's about understanding how you guys are going to come together and some point, whether it's a partnership, whether it's a legal marriage, whether it's brother and sister, whether it's mother, father, parents, siblings, even in personal relationships and professional relationships, it's really important to understand how we can navigate money conversations. And that's kind of how I arrived at this point of putting this all in a book and really just trying to deliver the best I can. And I think I had a good start. And so that's kind of where it's evolved from. And this book it's really, everybody's had challenges. Finishing this book in the pandemic and then, really trying to deliver something that is unique has been one of the most challenging things I have done. But here's the thing, it wasn't about me. That's what I found out. During the pandemic, I learned that it's about my village. It's about my community. It's about how I can be a part of something bigger than me. And I truly, truly believe that this is something that going forward, people can take and apply it in a lot of different ways. So let me even just back up to where it is now. Money Conversations is not just about money. It's about team. It's about your time, your energy, your ability, and your money. And that's where I kind of just said, let me just get out of the just narrow path of, finance, which, trust me, I think there's a lot of content that, needs to be had, but tying into money, tying into our effort, tying it into our expertise, and really trying to build something that a lot of people can understand. So that's where it is. It's about 250 pages. It's not meant to be the end all be all. I took off my sales hat through the whole book. Trust me, it's one of those things I really wanted to say. Not only am I not going to say, hey, I'm the best person for this solution, I actually removed the ability for people to work with me for a period of time. Not going to say forever, okay? I try to stay away from absolutes, but I really wanted people to say, Roderick is giving me something that I can take and apply in purest form and not worry about, some kind of, back end sale. So the book is meant to give a guide. Why is it a wedding gift? That name is, I get a little bit of a kind of a chuckle because when I say Money Conversations, I ask two questions. I go, what are one of the biggest challenges for people who are to be in their relationships? And I said, people go, well, they talk about communication, they talk about money, they talk about, trust, relationship, love. And I said, look, all those are true, but Money Conversations seems to encapsulate a lot of it. Not all of it, but a lot of it. And what I thought is, if I could give something to, frankly, I thought about my own children. I said, I may be around, I may not be around when these guys are deciding to partner up, or more importantly, right now, they can work on their own ways that they can make decisions together. And that's where I started, and it grew from there. It became, how do I deliver this to people I really love? My family, my friends, my community. And the joke, it started off as a joke. I said, hey, money conversations, what's more valuable than that? I kept asking the question, and no one was able to come up with anything else that was bigger than that. Or trust me, there's things that are more more expensive. There's things that are more popular. There's definitely things that are more sentimental. This is nice. Ain't the cutest we get, right? Let's be honest, right? So I understand that, but the value of this guide, this roadmap at the beginning, I honestly think this is something that can benefit a lot of people. So my thought is that this is not just something that people buy. Hey, you need this, and you're great, and you're taken care of. This is a gift. Yes, I know a lot of people who use this on the call or use parts of it, the other thing I want to stress: no one's starting from scratch. But at the end of the day, if I can make this a gift that you can give to other people, I can walk away. I can literally say, this is kind of my roadmap. And if you need help, go to the professionals, consult people that are, able to provide more additional services. So I'm really excited about that. Where is this going? This is just the start of this journey for me. My goal is to dedicate some time, and I don't want to define it, but over the next time period, I would like to develop this as more than just a book. Right now, we are putting together a package that will be a wedding gift beyond the book. So, maybe not just one gift, one book, but two books. I know some people have trouble getting their books from their partners. I've heard that. I'm not saying I know, I heard that. I know that. But I think also we have values. And so I would like to include value cards. Think about this. At the beginning of the relationship, how valuable would it be not to say where our values are similar, because that's nice, or one person has a value or belief or a principle or moral, and the other person's indifferent. There's really no problem there. It's when they disconnect. How do you two work through that? If I can help them with identifying the values, understanding where they are at the beginning when things aren't contentious, then there's a win, right? The other thing I developed is this is like a refrigerator magnet, and just hang it up. Rules of the road, rules of the road of tough conversations. Just, what is it, 8 different rules that I think are applicable, not just for money, but conversations you would have at the beginning. And we're also working on putting together a workbook would be strong, but I identified not only things that are important for money conversations, but questions. This is not an app. I had somebody ask me the other day, when are you going to build an app? I go, how about you guys sit down and have the conversation, right? That's what we're talking about. So this is about us coming together and saying, hey, these are things that are really important, and we would like people to be on the same page. I actually have Eviana, who I worked with in Tampa, is helping me with the translation. Oh, there she is. She's helping with the translation into Spanish. I think this is a perfect gift for people outside of the English language. I know there's so many opportunities out there. It may be slightly different in certain areas, but the core concepts are similar. And going forward, the real, I think, value is being able to create videos, create illustrations, to create things that people can identify, because we all learn different ways, whether it's audio, whether it's reading, whether it's someone telling a story. So I would like to deliver that in a way that people will understand, and more importantly, move forward. That's the key. Have people not only say, this is what I know, but we're actually putting this into action in our own lives. Again, not just with partnerships, but in their lives. So that's kind of the direction I see this going. But the key is, I have resources. I have a village around me. So kind of moving from where it was, where it's going, it's now about how can I really just tap into the people that have been very helpful in my career, in my life personally. And I just want to say thank you. So let me just put the book aside and say, so many of you have helped me and inspired me and kept me on this journey. It's been hard. And everybody, again, I don't want to make myself out to be unique. Everybody's gone through this. But I'm just looking around. I'm like, you guys are signing in. I have my parents, you know, I can't say enough. I'm that child that, you know, he's doing his own thing, but they've always supported me. They've always supported me. My sisters, you know, what can I say? You guys have been great, right? Obviously my boys, my partner who's here, she's been great. Yeah, she's picked me up and she's heard me, you know, I talk a lot. So she's been there for me, right? But so many people, my cousins, my nieces, my nephews, my aunts, my uncles, my grandmother still is like, oh, Roderick, I heard you read the book. When's it getting done? She's been on me, okay? So I know I have a village behind me. I have friends in the community. I have friends in different organizations and I see, you know, you here now. I have friends from high school. I see people here from high school and middle school. Man, you guys have been there for me. And I can't say enough that it's not just about what we're doing in our lives inside of our profession or inside of our household, but I'm really excited about as we kind of realize that we're all interrelated, how we can come together. So at this point, this event would not be possible if I wasn't able to tap into, I don't want to call it a resource. This guy is like just the epitome of a cog in the community. And we're here in Columbia City, in South Seattle at Lottie's Lounge. And I'm going to bring Bo to come up and just literally just talk about how he's seeing people in the community come in and literally start to work together to really not just, again, to say we're getting out or we're getting back to normal. No, we're accelerating out of this pandemic. So at this point, I'm going to bring Bo up and I'm going to have him say a couple words. Again, very, very gracious of him lending me this location. With that, Bo.
Hey, thank you, Roderick. Well, I'm Bo, and also known as the Boaster. I'm the owner, but more the steward of Lottie's Lounge here in Columbia City. And to Roderick's point about community, you know, when you own a local bar, you are by definition part of that community. And that's a huge, important aspect of what I do. And trying to find that balance between it being a business and operating in a free market system and capitalism and everything like that, but being community minded and helping people as best you can, donating money where you can, being a resource and a gathering place has been really important to me. And Roderick's been awesome, and he's been a real inspiration and has opened my mind up a lot to money is sort of more of a holistic thing, not just dollars in a bank account, but something that kind of lifts your whole life up and is a resource and something that hopefully can give one freedom and peace of mind. To his point about coming together from the pandemic, this whole community here has really bonded together and we've all lifted each other up. It's been amazing. The community members have supported the small businesses and the small businesses have really worked together to support each other. We've each done our own little pivots. We've not stepped on each other's toes. And I think we're all stronger for it. Made a lot of good friends that way. And so hopefully we can accelerate out of this pandemic and just kick a bunch of ass in 2021, 22, and so on and so forth. Thank you. I yield my time, and here is Roderick.
Thank you, Bo. Great. I mean, I can't say enough about he first of all listens to all my crazy ideas. That's first of all, that's a win in itself, right? Because I've been known to have a couple ideas, being honest, right? The other thing I would like to say is the book is available on Amazon. We will have an online order, but if it's okay with Bo, we will actually sell the physical copies here at Lottie's. You can't get it anywhere else. I'm not going to say it's exclusive but it's exclusive. It's going to be a nice touch to say thank you. But more importantly, it's just, I just feel that this is a nice starting place for this, and it's obviously going to grow. And I also want to acknowledge, and I know there's so many businesses that have helped me in this process. I see the list, and I apologize if I'm not going to be able to acknowledge all you right now. There will be acknowledged in the book, so I'm not going to leave you out. But Maya has been a huge help in the marketing. Creative Catalyst Communications. I think I got it right. If I didn't, Maya, I apologize, but she's been just outstanding, stable rock in the South Seattle community. So I'm going to highlight the book in 60 seconds. It's not super complicated. It's, again, communication. What do you have? Communication, active listening, verbal, nonverbal. What do you have? Cash flow, balance sheets, the non-balance sheet stuff, value systems, human capital, social capital. That's what you have. Before you even get into like all the products and services, no disrespecting anybody, you got to know what you have. Then you're talking about goals. What kind of goals are we talking about? Well, there's 4 goals, I would say. One is, let's address adult continuing education, right? And how do you pay for what you've already done? How are you going to continue it in your 40 years of working life? For those who are working, I'm going to work for a while, but first, how you continue your progression through human capital. What about real estate? Real estate is part of our decision making, right? Especially now, real estate market's crazy. What about starting a business, right? I sat on a board of the Community Development Fund, ran my own business, and actually was a loan officer for a little bit. So, I do have some experience there. And then there's the pie in the sky. I don't even use the term retirement. I call it do what you want, period. So those are the 4 that we talk about where we're going. Then we're talking about how do you get there? And that's where, before we get into products, risk return, not just as an individual, but as an aggregate. Go through the products, high level, not just going through the highlights of what's positive. Just be aware of some of the things you have to connect to other areas, and then going through the behavior. And last but not least, before I get to the other people that are in this, is the fact that this topic, I cannot tell you how it has been such a challenge to get people to just acknowledge this is something that's important, but we don't talk about it. And there's a variety of conversations in that. So I understand that there's a lot of content. It hopefully delivered in a different way. Trust me, I wrote in first, second, and third person. I had a lot of editing help. A lot of people out here on the call, just great. Just saw somebody show up. It's great to have you join. But it's not about me saying it's the best book. That's not it. What I would love to do is give people who have had a chance to read it, look at it either the digital form through Kindle or the hard copy. If you have the ability, or if you want to say something, your thoughts on it, I would love to have you, give a couple words. So at this point, I am going to open it up. And if you guys want to say something, here's your chance.
What book? You wrote a book?
That's my family. That's literally my family. And that's real. Yep, I did write a book. Yeah.
and I'll say so. Mike Hill, he did write a book. There is some evidence of this book right here, somehow, some way, and so it is real, it's tangible. I'm a financial advisor by trade, and when I read it, I think about when people come see me, it's like going to the dentist's office to get your wisdom teeth pulled out. That's not even a dentist anymore at that point. It's an oral surgeon. Nobody wants to do that, right? People don't want to sit in my office and hear about what they're not doing. Well, this book isn't about that. It's about giving them the blueprint, giving them the questions. What should they be thinking about? How should they think about it? And it prepares them for that discussion to actually put a plan in place for them and their family going forward. So it's an excellent, I would consider it, from a financial advisor perspective, it's a reference book. It makes me think about these human beings I'm talking to and making sure that I'm on the same page and I can speak from that perspective as a person also trying to be responsible and know how to talk about money, or learn how to talk about my money better with my spouse. So anyway, I'll yield my time to who's next, whoever I interrupted.
Thank you, Mike.
Hi, this is Whitney. I'm his little cousin, and I'm super proud of you. I remember when you first told me this. I think I was living, I don't know where I was living. I was somewhere on the other side of the world, but I was really broke. I remember being poor. And you were telling me, you need to consider this. This is an asset. And so you really have helped me. You really kind of shape the way I think about money and how I process assets and just what's a liability and all that good stuff. And I'm just really grateful that you're my cousin and that you've put this in a package that's going to live beyond you. So congratulations. I'm really proud of you and I love you. So that's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Whitney.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Can.
Yeah, thank you. Roderick. My name is Gary Mellinson, and I've known him for 20 plus years. We met at Smith Barney, and when he started there, we were started about the same time, we're about a year apart. I'm still in the financial services industry, and I converse with him quite regularly. And I haven't had a chance to read the whole book. I've read parts of it, and I've seen the titles. Definitely good information. I'm just wondering if it's a little late for Bill and Melinda Gates, since they announced their departure today. But I might send it to them anyway to see if they can resolve it. That's how good it is. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Brenda. I am Roderick's mother. I had the opportunity of reading the book in draft form. And one of the things that resonated with me as I was reading the book is when we discussed the book, I would bring up, I said, oh, this is about money. He said, Mom, it's not about money. It's about people establishing, people coming together, identifying their values and their goals, and as a partnership, finding that middle road of compromising their values and their goals. And it was really hard for me to transition from thinking about it as being something of money and money driven, whereas in the book, he's always talked about what are your goals and values. And I just also want to add to it, I'm very proud of you. I saw you struggle with this, and I'm very, very proud of you, Roderick.
Thank you, Mom.
All right, since it's a little bit of a pause here, I have to even turn my camera on for you. There you go. This is James Redmond. I am cousins with Roderick and his top-notch real estate agent here in Seattle. I did not read the whole book, so let me start by saying that. Roderick put me under some pressure here, where he gave me the book, and then I had it, it was sitting on my shelf, and he's like, hey, we're going to have a Zoom call. Read a little bit of it before you come in. So, of course, I had to pick the things that were most important to me. And the first thing was the real estate side of how to rethink real estate from a couple's point of view. I picked that section because obviously being in real estate, it most related to me. But also, I think it most relates to my clients. And that is what I found that chapter to be extremely guiding for. It gave the food for thought to start the conversation, continue the conversation, and then even take it to the next steps. It provided you with the roadmap of how to make that conversation actually possible as well as productive. I started reading a little bit more after that one chapter. And so it took me into continued education, which is followed right up by it. That goes into another whole thing for me, which huge proponent on education and continuing to better ourselves. It doesn't have to be formal school education, but the conversation of how to actually work with your money and with someone else that you are sharing your money with is a conversation that in my business we don't talk about. It is a personal thing for each client, and each person, even in the same relationship, can be at different points or at different portions of their journey. That's where I think this book for me is going to be most helpful, is giving myself more food for thought of how to see those individuals, how to communicate with them, and also how to share the book with them and allow them to start that process, to start the chewing of the gum. And that's the big part. So thank you, Roderick. You have definitely given me a tool to put in my toolbox and share with my clients, as well as myself and my wife. So we will be reading the rest of the book. And so far, it's been awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, James.
Hey, Roderick, Nora here.
Hi.
Hi. Bravo, you did it. So happy to be here. Hey, everybody, let's just give Roderick a big round of applause. Or these.
I'm not laughing about that. I'm just laughing at all the times we were.
We tried so many things, but you tried so many things, I should say, and I came along for the ride for part of it. But for those who don't know me, I'm a mediator and a conflict coach, and was involved early on with Roderick doing workshops and things like that, and videos. And so very excited to have it in my hands. Fantastic. And I just want to say that, you know, what you've done here is you are helping people talk about the most intimate part of their lives, their money. And it is about their money, because even when you have goals, whatever goals you're identifying, 9 times out of 10, there's going to be a money factor around that. It causes a lot of conflict for people. Aligning goals, aligning values, aligning their lives together. What's exciting for me is I'm moving into the do what you want phase of my life. So guess what? I thought I was going to give this to my daughter, who's 25, but I'm keeping this one. I'm going to have to get another one for her.
Absolutely.
Because we're literally having the conversations right now about where I am in my stage of life and my work, where my husband is, which is not in the same place quite yet, time-wise, but really stopping and not sleepwalking into it, but really preparing ourselves and having those conversations and figuring out how we support each other through the next phases of our life. So thank you so much for this wonderful gift.
Thank you, Nora, and truly, thank you for being a part.
Hey, Rod, you see me?
I see you.
Congrats. Proud of you, man. I will be honest, though. It came in the mail, and Andre handed it to me. I was like, why are you handing me this book? He's like, look who wrote it. I was like, what? Rod Givens, what? So, haven't read it, but excited to. So, I just want to say congratulations. And you gotta come out to quiet. I don't know if you see this in the background. Beautiful here. Come on out.
I'm definitely excited about catching up with you guys. Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
Roderick.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was having some audio troubles there. I apologize. Hey, this is Mike Miller. Hey, it's great to see a couple faces there that I haven't seen in a long time. Gary, as well as James. Great to see you guys. Congratulations again, Roderick. You know, Roderick and I don't know, what is it, over a decade or so? We've been
Easily over
going
that.
at it pretty strong. And, you know, back in the day, Roderick and I spent some time on the road together. There's no stories there, so don't ask. But I will tell you what I loved about traveling with Roderick and working with Roderick is that he would take these sometimes complex issues or complex situations that we all face and distill it down into a nice, simplified, easy to understand potential solution for something that can cause a lot of stress in a lot of people's lives. And, you know, one of the things that I love most about this book, and I've read it twice, and I use it almost every day. I work with, I'm a financial advisor as well, and I work with clients. And I love just how just maybe wording something a little bit differently can have a dramatically different impact on that person's reaction to what you're trying to accomplish or what you're trying to say. So I've always loved listening and working with Roderick to see how he might talk about something a little bit differently, to give somebody a little bit different perspective where it makes sense to them. But not only that, puts them on a path to success. So Roderick, I think you've done an amazing job with this book. I think there's a lot, you know, there's more to come. I'm really excited to see what's going to come from this. So well done, and look forward to what's next.
Thank you, Mike. And I will actually, let me just mention just the breadth of, we have people in, I think, 6 time zones, which, you know, again, it's just a reflection of this village is not just who lives next to you. It's about, you know, really extending out and staying in contact and obviously connecting. So again, the support's been great.
So speaking of time zones, I'm going to take a minute here to say hello. My name is Iviana. Like Roderick said, I'm working with him on translating the book to Spanish, and I'm talking to you from San Juan, Puerto Rico, from the island of Puerto Rico. And I met Roderick also at Smith Barney over 20 years ago. We worked together for a little bit. And right now, I'm a consultant of financial education, which I love. And that's why we connect so much about this book, because it's all about education. And I don't think we get enough of it when we're young and we start making decisions sometimes too late in life, too late into our marriages and relationships. And that's why, by not having enough information and not having these conversations, things sometimes, a lot of times, you know, don't work out because of that. So if we learn to have these difficult conversations, I feel that the rest of the conversations then will be so much easier. Because if we, you know, hit the difficult part first, that's a good start. And that's why I love that it's a wedding gift, you know, the most valuable wedding gift, because it's at the beginning of things. And we've joked about, oh, if I had this before I got married, maybe I still would be, but I'm not. But anyway, 2 things come to mind. Number one is life is difficult and it keeps surprising us. I mean, I sometimes say, yeah, I think I've seen almost everything, but guess what? I haven't. Life still surprises me. I mean, this last year, we've all experienced something totally unexpected. I still go out and I don't believe we're all wearing masks at the supermarket and all that. But to have something that we can have a little bit of control of or understand so that we can plan our future, our retirement, our conversations, why not? I mean, this is something that we all need and should do immediately. And then number 2 is there's so much information out there. It's an overload. Sometimes we need to just shut it down, just close, because it's a lot of information. Sometimes it's different. Sometimes it's one has nothing to do with the other. It's confusing. And I have to agree with the last person that spoke about Roderick. And I was actually telling him this. The way that he explains things sometimes is just so straight to the point, even though it's kind of deep at the same time or very, you know, specific, but it's easy in a few words. And that's maybe one of the challenges of translating the book is I want to keep that way of his words. I don't want to translate it and then change it in any way. No, I want to say it the way that he's saying it, but in Spanish, you know, and it's a challenge because of that. But it's the kind of information that I want. I want to shut out all the other information that doesn't help me, but this kind of information is what really, really helps. That's how I feel. And I'm extremely happy that I'm working with him on this. And I thank you for being here with, you know, with him today. And Roderick, you know, I admire you. I've always had from the beginning, from when I met you, and I didn't hear from you for a long time. And I'm just glad you reached out, and I'm really proud to be working with this project. And, you know, thank you. Thank you. And it's awesome. I think you're remarkable.
No, thank you. And again, you're part of the village. So thank you, Viana.
Yes.
Hey there, I'm Mike Plaster. I'm a writer and an editor, and I have been involved here and there with this project since the early stages. So I haven't read the book yet, but I've probably read parts of it 15 times because it's been a process.
Mike, I'll go ahead and say you actually did write a lot of that. I mean, he's being modest. He has helped a lot. He's been very involved.
I mean, through a different name, a different format, more than 4 years of Roderick pursuing his vision. Yeah, I went and checked my files. Roderick, the first marriage and money document I have is January 2017, not 2018. Okay.
That's what I said.
That's what sticks with me most. No matter what, Roderick just kept pushing ahead. And there would be gaps. And then I would hear from him 3 months later, 6 months later. And now he's got a book. Right? Like Mike Hill said, it's something tangible. It's something real. It's something that's got some weight to it. Like Whitney said, it's something that's going to stand the test of time, just as he has. And I think there's really a lesson in that too. You don't do something like this to get rich, although we all hope this is a huge success.
Yes.
You do it because you believe in the mission. Right? You do it because you want to help people. And Roderick said it himself, this isn't about him. If the book sells 1 million copies for him, well, that's okay too. So Roderick, congratulations. It's been quite a ride, and I can't wait to see what's ahead.
Thank you, Mike. And again, Mike has been involved in this in a variety of forms, and this would be nowhere close to where it is without his help. So thank you very much.
I wouldn't mind jumping in and saying a couple of words about the book and what an honor and pleasure it is to be here in the company of all these amazing people, and so much fun to see so many of our old South End Seattle activists and just community supporters, and, you know, folks that come together and really do try and uplift each other. And, you know, Roderick and I go back to, I don't know, dogs in Dead Horse Canyon, and then me strong-arming him into joining the Rainier Beach Merchants, and then nothing but hijinks from then on. But one thing that I do want to say about this book, and yes, these are real tabs. I'm like, I'm going to talk to my husband, Damien, about all of these things. But actually, he has his own copy that he downloaded on through Kindle. So that's good. We don't have to share. And I'm more of the note taker, and he'll just remember everything he reads. So but one of the things that I really do want to tell people about this book is that it's actually fun to read, which, can you even imagine that, like, sort of, you know, a financial roadmap, or it's aggressively not advice, and it's also aggressively not selling you anything. It's almost anecdotal, but it's anecdotal in a way that you can really sort of break down what is going on and what the hell people are talking about when they talk about things around money. And I really appreciate it. And I am not entirely through the book. I'm only to this tab here. But I'm looking forward to reading the rest of it and having some uncomfortable conversations with my husband. So thank you so much for writing it, Roderick. Really appreciate it.
Good. Well, we hope to move that from uncomfortable to effective. How about that? Thank you, Maya. Thank you, Maya. And I was going to join in.
Roderick, it's Jeremy Block in Bend, Oregon. Can you hear me?
I see you, Jerm.
Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry, my camera's not working, or I'm probably lying because my hair's all messed up, but I gotta agree with Mike Miller. I heard his two dogs barking in the background. I got a little min pin chihuahua and a black lab, and they don't like each other. So if anybody barks, it's not me. Anyways, I met Roderick at Smith Barney. I joined in 1999 on my dad's team, and Roderick was what we called an advisor's advisor. Like, he helped me with managed money, kind of learning the business from the ground up, and he's been a great friend ever since. But I just got to give him some props. I mean, besides being, handsome and intelligent, I never thought you'd be an author. So I'm super impressed. So anyways, but the book was so comprehensive and it tackles so many difficult topics. Like Iviana said, you just make them easy to understand. And I actually wanted to, run it by my wife. So I actually gave her the book on Friday and I said, you might want to check out this. See, she met Roderick a long time ago, and she read the book almost in one day on Friday. And she goes, this makes everything so much easier to understand because I'm a financial advisor and, she's a real estate agent. And she goes, I know what you do and I just don't understand it. So it made everything come back to earth. She loves the book. So I'm definitely going to get one for my dad, who was my partner who just retired last year, my brother, not only clients, but friends too. So it was so amazing. You talked about cash flow statements, will, life expectancy. People don't think of all these different things, and you kind of consolidated it into one thing. So it was awesome. And you brought it all together, which is the best part. So yeah, bottom line is, like you said before, you're not selling a product, but you always told me when I started in 1999, you sell a process, not a product. And this is exactly what that is. And it's so good. I mean, this is a gift for anybody, not obviously, couples or whatever, but yeah, I'm so impressed. And it's just a value add to everything you bring to the table. And I want to say too, I love seeing your family and your good friends on Zoom. Sorry, my camera's not working, but like I said, I got to comb my hair later. But that's about it. I love you, buddy, and I'm so happy, and I'll help you in any way I can.
Well, we're coming back to Bend.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
We got lots of golf down here.
Well, that's a different conversation. But I got to work on that. But yeah, no, thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, and it means a lot to me. Right.
Okay, brother, I'm going to say something. So, hi, everybody. I'm Rod's sister.
Lily? Lily, is that you?
Oh, Lily. Sorry for the lighting.
Lily, what are you doing?
Okay, really? Because I'll tell everybody you really don't have a book. How about that? Okay, we're going to keep the family jokes to the side. Anyway, I have not read the book, but I do remember the journey when you first wanted to start. And you will call me, throw some ideas, and I may or may not know how to have a response, or I'll just listen, but just being that ear, and I'm just proud of you, I really want to say you've always been my role model. I always look up to you. I'm very proud of you, and I wish you nothing but the best. And it's a beautiful thing to see all these people supporting you, coming together, pitching in, however, from writing to listening to whatever. It's just a really beautiful thing to see that. So I just wish you nothing but, the luck of this book, success. I want you to sell a million copies because guess what? Your sister needs some money. I just need like about $2. No, this would on a serious side. I hope the book is successful and I wish you success. Thank you.
Thank you, Eve. All right. Love you.
Hey, I'm going to get in here. What's up, Roderick? Super excited for you. This is such an incredible chapter, and I'm happy to be a part of it. I can't wait to start seeing you around the community more, so maybe you aren't busy pinning these words. So I know you've been at it pretty hardcore the last year, so I'm excited to see you out. And I just ordered the book, so I can't wait to start reading it. Sorry I didn't come prepared prior to tonight, but I think that it's going to be super relevant to my life, and I'm really excited, especially hearing more about like it being beyond just money. So I really can't wait. And thank you for sharing today with all of us. Thank you for writing such an important book that is a topic that touches every single person. So thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. Right. Well, I if anybody else, definitely there's plenty of opportunities to connect. Obviously, this is the village, right? And let me just wrap it up like saying this. This is kind of what I see, not only with the book, but all of us. I think really that's really the idea, is that we have so much to offer. It's almost like I can't tell you how excited I hear when I hear about you guys have, new opportunities, whether it's a job, whether it's a project, whether it's something that has to do with your personal life, additions to the family. That is really what that makes me just, that's really what I really look forward to. And the opportunity is, and I don't want to even say, it's my challenge, it's an opportunity, is what can we do to keep the ball rolling, right? That's what the opportunity is what can we do to really just get this as a starting the conversation, helping our neighbors, helping our friends, helping our families with, again, we use the term money, but just helping people have conversations. And if you think about it, if we had better conversations, a lot of us would be in a lot of better situations. Can I say that? I don't know if that just, I'm saying, you understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying it, but I'm saying it. That we just have some conversations. Look, we come from different backgrounds. We have different values. That's okay. Understand, and then obviously move forward. So with that, I'm just going to really, again, say thank you. I'm excited. There will be a follow-up. There's a contact list, because I do try to put some things out on social media. I'm gonna do a better job of that. And then obviously you're gonna see some stuff when it comes to the actual books, packages, things that you can obviously tangibly pass on. It's a gift. I love when you guys buy it. Thank you. I think the opportunity is, there was 2,000 weddings in 2019. 2020, there wasn't that many. So my guess is there's going to be anywhere from 2.5 to even 3 million weddings. And I think that the money is what it is, right? If we can get this in front of these people, I think our world's going to be a better place. So with that, I want to thank you for joining. If you haven't had a chance to pick it up, I think it's, obviously you heard some comments. I think it's going to be something that you'll enjoy. And then obviously it's the most valuable wedding gift, the most valuable gift you could give or receive. So I'm going to cut off, but if you guys want to kind of hang out, because I know some of you guys haven't had a chance to catch up in a little bit, feel free to hang out for just a little bit, if that's okay with Maya. And again, you guys, thank you very much. Bye-bye.